Hello everybody, Raptor, King of the West here, and today we are back in Minecraft Dinosaurs. And today, we're going to be doing a project that I've been putting off for a very long time. That's right, we're still not finishing the aviary. We're doing the garage. I want to do the garage today. I have been putting this one off for, I think, too long. I think the garage needs to be built. Finally, after how long has it been? I still don't have a design for that Jeep. Or, like, I kind of want to design it to look a bit like a Jeep, like the ones in Jurassic Park is sort of my inspiration. Don't have a design for that yet, though. So, we're just gonna build the garage, and then we'll worry about the Jeep later. And when I say garage, I think a better word is a shack. It's essentially a shack. But I think it's gonna look good. So, you know what? It's fine. And then, yeah. Alright. So, there was not a video last week. I do apologize about that. I received some news. For now, that news is going to remain private. But, just, I thought about how I wanted to say this before I started recording, and that's all completely lost on me now. How did I want to do this? I do not remember. Okay, yeah. So I've received some news. That news for now is going to stay private, but due to things related to that news and some traveling that I'm doing occasionally, all because of that news. This ominous sounding news that I have received. Yeah. Because of that, uploads are going to be a little bit less consistent. Simply put, that has to happen. That has to happen. So, you know, bear with me on that. I do still want to record and make videos for you guys, because I do enjoy it a lot, but, you know, it's... yeah. I mean, that's about all that I'm gonna say on the topic for now. In the future, I am sure that I will say more. But for now, that is all that you guys need to know at the moment. But why did I come up here? Right, I'm throwing cobblestone into random storage bins. Nothing's getting organized. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a dinosaur or anything today. I do just want to work on this garage, and I'm fully at the mercy of the percentage of my laptop's battery, so I don't know how long this video is gonna be, either. I am gonna try and keep tabs on it, and then when we get low, I will try and outro. But yeah, yep. Alright. I have an idea for the garage, and I think it's gonna look really good and really cool, and... do I want... We're gonna hear me say some weird things on, like, I'm gonna get halfway through voicing a thought. I'm wondering if I want, like, partway out for this to expand one more block out. We'll leave it for now. But I am throwing that idea into the wind. And then I want fences. What fences do I want? Not dark oak. Those are too dark. Oak, actually, I think is going to be the perfect fit. Sticks are in this chest. let's do this right. Come on, what am I doing? Okay. That's not right. That's not even... What am I doing? What? Okay. Here we go. Yep, no, I don't know what my brain was calculating, but it was doing it all incorrectly. Okay. So, how tall do I want this garage to be? I think I want it on the taller side, for sure. 1, 2, 3. 3 is too short. I wouldn't be able to fit the actual vehicle. Not video settings, music and sounds. Where is... I haven't downloaded the resource pack yet. So we're going to turn down the chickens. Because it's a lot of clucking now that that is full as possible. I'm thinking out loud. I am thinking out loud, but I'm not doing it very well. I'm talking out loud and thinking silently. That's what I'm doing. That's not what I mean to be doing. I think I'm gonna want some plants, and then... yeah. Not getting a dinosaur today. I don't know what enclosure we're gonna do next. Ooh, before I forget, I'm remembering things. Hold on. It's in my notes app. What was it? What? Oh, here it is, here we go. Yes! Haha! I figured out what I'm gonna name the Dimorphodon. I don't have a name tag for it, but I've been promising that I was gonna name it for a couple episodes now. So we're gonna take the birch sign and we're gonna go to the aviary. I remembered. I can't believe I remembered. Yeah, it took me a while to even think of a name for the Dimorphodon, and I've thought of names for a couple other dinosaurs that, like, the ones that are next on the list. I've got their names figured out if no one suggests any. If you guys want to suggest a name for a dinosaur, any dinosaur, even ones that I have names for or I have names prepared for, you suggest a name, I will use it. Or, if you suggest a name for something that's already been named, then it goes onto a list so that I can use it next time we get that dinosaur. So, I love when you guys suggest names, I really do, and I want to use them as much as possible, so just leave a comment down below. Yeah. You see, I want this to be so much taller. Genuinely, I do. I think it'll be awesome when it's really tall. Everyone's still alive. How's your hunger doing? You're doing fine. Alright. Dimorphodon. Perseus. That is not based off of Percy Jackson. I was thinking of the name Percy, and I did think of Percy Jackson for a bit, and I remembered that it mentioned Zeus in one of the myths had a son named Perseus. And I think that name is very fitting for a pterosaur. The flying creatures. You know, king of the sky sort of thing. And because that is the oldest pterosaur in the aviary, I think it's safe to say that he can be considered kind of like the king. So, a name connected to Zeus, but not Zeus itself, I think was a fun idea. Yes, it's a nerdy name, I know. There's some coming up on that list. If you guys don't suggest names for them before I get to them, there are some coming up on that list that are also incredibly nerdy, and some of the other dinosaurs have names for very nerdy reasons. I mean, the Compsognathuses are named after Bilbo Baggins' parents. The Stegosaurs are named after characters from a show called Supernatural, which some of the older members of my audience are probably familiar with, and some of the younger members of my audience should not be familiar with yet. But I'm a nerd, and I get to name things what I want. Yeah. No, I got some fun name ideas for a couple of dinosaurs. But if you guys suggest a name, I'm probably going to use that name just because I love you guys having an impact on this world. It brings such a massive smile to my face. It really does. 4, 5, 6. How do we feel about 6? 6 might be too tall. 5? I like 5. I like 5 a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Those are all up to where I'd like them to be. Now, how much dirt was that total? About a stack and 27. I'm cooking extra just in case I change my mind about how I want that to be. Okay. I need logs. I need sticks. Do I have more coal than that? Because this is going to be really resource intensive. I might need to go mine more coal, potentially. Or I can smelt a bunch of logs into charcoal. Okay. I think a lot of you have seen the building trick that I want to do. I'm going to take a campfire. This is 20 campfires here. And then we're going to build up here. What direction does that face? That's a good direction. If I just want to test out the idea that I can place these over open air. Yes, I can. Lovely. So now I have what's going to be a flaming roof. I don't want it to stay a flaming roof. Is that the way around that I want them? I think yes, because I don't want to change it. It's for a very lazy reason, I admit it. That was not right. That's not where I wanted that. Lucky me, I have the carry-on mod, and I believe that with the config settings I have, I can pick them up. Can I? Yes! I can pick up campfires. So, now I have a burning roof. That's not going to be good for the roof or my frame rate. Because that's a lot of particles. So, the trick here is, as many of you, I'm sure, know... Oh, do I need to be on top? I need to be on top. Man. Let's just build the staircase up, because I'm going to have to do this more than once. I know I am. Hit all of these with the shovel. Like throwable water bottles also work. And then we have a roof. And it's a very good roof. I like it. The only thing is that I need a lot more coal. Where am I going to go to get coal? We are going to go... We're going to go to Good Cave. I don't know what's in Good Cave. But it's really far away, so odds are I haven't taken out all the coal. That was a bit of a... Why is that waypoint in the open air? Why did I do that? Why? Why on earth would that be the thing that I would do? What motivated me to make that decision? I'm missing items. Where? An axe? I needed that one. That's the main one I was worried about. Bone. Arrows, gravel. Yeah, okay, I think I have all the stuff that I actually was worried about. Skeleton. No. Oh, beautiful. Goodbye. Goodbye. We're gonna go back up here. And we're going to get the fossils and the coal. I think there's no more of the Mesozoic ones that I actually need the DNA for, so I think I'll save any biofossils that we get for the museum when I one day decide to finish that project. I'm going to be honest, out of all the projects I have not finished, I am most excited to finish the garage, because I think that's going to add a lot to this part of the build. I think that it's going to look really awesome and cool. Yeah. Add some life to the build. Let me do some cool stuff, you know? Oh, this cave is so dangerous. I really just need coal. And, like, a lot of coal. If I could get a large coal vein, that would be super duper awesome. Because I'm gonna need... that made 20. I need a stack in 27. So I need a stack plus 7 pieces of coal. It's very simple math, I'm gonna be honest. But, yeah. This vein's not bad. Is it gonna get me enough? Probably not. But I can hope. I can hope, futilely. That was not enough. It did make a pretty good dent in the amount that we needed. Which is why I opted for mining instead of smelting charcoal. Because you can do it with charcoal, too. Charcoal is the weirdest item in the game. I do not... Early on, early Minecraft development, they were really worried about, like, the user interface and the user experience and stuff like that. And that is the main reason that, like, vertical slabs were not added in early Minecraft, is they couldn't figure out a way to do it that would work well with the UX. And that is directly from Yen's social media, who is, fun fact, that is Jeb, one of the oldest developers and current chief creative officer for Minecraft. And he said the last time they had a serious conversation about adding in vertical slabs, they opted not to because of UX complications. That's a fair reason. Especially for older Minecraft, but, like, a lot of stuff with UX is like, how full is the player's inventory going to be, or how is the item going to work in a way that is clear, fun, and actually usable. I know I've collected enough coal, I just want to collect some more because I'm on a roll. So that was the last time that, allegedly, Mojang has had a serious conversation about, adding vertical slabs. And I get that. That's all very good reasons. Until we get to charcoal. Great. It's in Minecraft. Charcoal is made by smelting logs. Coal has the same stats as charcoal. To my knowledge, they have the exact same stats. Yeah, I don't... How long do they last? Can I actually see? As a fuel, smeltsate items. Smeltsate items! Okay, I'm right. They have the exact same stats. And charcoal does not craft into a block, which makes sense. But I don't see a single reason that charcoal needs to be a separate item. It could just be coal. It could absolutely just be coal. You smelt a log, you get coal. Why is it not? I don't know. At one point, maybe there was a plan where charcoal would behave differently. But it smelts the same number of items. In modern Minecraft, it just clutters the user interface. Now, luckily, charcoal is not an item that people are coming across on accident, so it's not going to clutter their whole inventory. You need to explicitly be seeking it out. But it is the weirdest thing. I do not understand it. Especially if you're not going to add a bunch of other things because you don't want to clutter the UI. So that's just what they decided to do early on. I don't know why. They just did, and we all get to live with that decision now. I don't actually care that much, if I'm being perfectly honest. I just think it's really weird and kind of interesting, and I'm sure that if you wanted to have the whole conversation on, like, from a game dev perspective, with Minecraft being so public during its alpha development, how that changes heavily how decisions are made around, like, removing certain features. Because if they removed it now, people who have never touched the item would be very angry. Because they're removing a part of the game's early lifespan. And it's an item that has served no real purpose in the game in a very long time. At one point, I fully believed that, like, I know at one point, Notch was thinking that this would be more of a survival game than a sandbox game, and that he wanted torches to go out. Maybe we would see a difference in torch lifespan when you use charcoal, but coal is so easy to get. I don't know exactly what decisions were made that resulted in charcoal being put into the game to begin with, and why it's the exact same. Because now, that's not going to change. Like, they're not going to change how it works. They're not going to remove it from the game. The most I could see them doing was back in 1.14 when they changed how a bunch of crafting recipes worked so that ink sacs had to be made into black dye first before you could use it to dye things. Back when they did that, I could have seen them adding a recipe for charcoal into black dye. That would be the last time that I can think where, like, there was a potential for charcoal getting its own separate use. Because right now, it is coal that is harder to obtain. Well, or it's easier to obtain, but more fuel and time consuming. I want a piece of coal, I go mine a piece of coal. I want a piece of charcoal, I have to cook it. I have to get logs, which are very easy to get. And then I have to cook them with other logs. So now I have a fuel source, I have charcoal, so now I have a more efficient way to cook my logs for the charcoal so that I can cook the logs for my charcoal, and occasionally cook whatever else I want to cook. It's a really strange artifact of early Minecraft. It doesn't really serve a clear purpose anymore. It's just there. And I am by no means advocating for the removal of charcoal from the game. It's fine. I think I have charcoal. I've used charcoal in this world, or I have some sitting somewhere, because I get it from the fossil in archaeology. Charcoal. Also, some of my stats are, like, really weird, because how have I picked it up 4 times? There's not one for placed, but there is one for times used. Would that not count as placing? Yeah, I've used it once. I've crafted it once. Some of these stats are really weird. So, ooh, what is going on here with the Quetzalcoatlus egg? I'm sorry, I'm now on a tangent. Times used, picked up, dropped. None for crafted. I'm curious how that's happened. What I could have done to... Huh? 6-1? That doesn't even make any sense. Is that for, like, how it is for all of them? Are all the eggs just weird? I came here for charcoal. Let's try and find charcoal, because this list is not alphabetized. 4, that's times used, and none picked up, none, yeah, crafted or anything. That one kinda, I think. I know I've picked that up more than that many times. Okay. I just wanted to see how many times I've used charcoal, because I know it's above 0. I might have scrolled past it. If I did, I'm not going to go look for it. And I'm not seeing charcoal. I've used charcoal. That's the point I'm trying to get at here, is that I have used charcoal. At some point, I have used charcoal. How long are we at? And how's my percentage looking? Yeah, we got some time to do some more of this. Which means it's time for me to decimate my stock of spruce. Grab these as well. Alright, let's see how many trapdoors I can make with this. There are two reasons I'm making trapdoors instead of using shelves. A, I don't actually like shelves. I know that they put cushions in Minecraft recently. I like the cushions. Those are fun. I feel like they're a bit bright. I do. But I can change that myself with a resource pack. I can download a resource pack to change that, or I can make one myself. I just feel like they're a bit brightly colored for a lot of regular use cases. That is fully personal preference. I like cushions. I think they're a good addition to the game. I do not share this opinion about shelves. I do not like shelves. I think I've had this conversation before on this channel. I think shelves were not a good addition to the game. I get that a lot of people like them for building, and I'm okay with that. And I think people should use them, because I've seen people do really cool things with them. I have. But no build with a shelf that uses a shelf, especially as a vertical slab, outside of a couple of cases, has really spoken to me as something that was like particularly cool or something I would want to do. So when we update to a version of Minecraft where we get shelves, I will maybe use them on occasion for small details. Like, I've seen a really cool design for, like, a flashing light that uses them. I did think that was cool. So there are situations where I will use them. They're very few. I'm not the biggest fan of the block. And so I don't really use it. And because of that, I can't really use it to the best effect, because I don't try to ever. This is all personal opinion. It's very much like, I am not in the majority. I am an outlier in that belief that they're not a good addition to the game. I also hold that belief for the Happy Ghast. I don't really like Happy Ghasts. But again, I think they're a fun addition. I just think that they could have been done differently, and I'm not the biggest fan. But whatever. It's a game that I have a lot of fun with, and I don't need to like every single update. So for me, that's all fine. I am totally fine with those being in the game. I just don't really use them. So when we update, I probably will not use them. But if you like them, that's awesome. And I'm really happy for you. But in this instance here, not only do I not have shelves, even if I did, I would not want to use them. Especially because I think this build actually works better with the thinner walls. I think it does. I don't know if I'm actually totally convinced about that statement. I might be coping a little bit for the fact that I would not use shelves for this. I am very stubborn, as some of you may have noticed. Axe, there we go. And now we can put some, actually, yeah, actually, I do want it that high. Yeah, yes, and then, here's the question. I didn't mean to have that slope up like that. I kind of like that. And then I want to put some, like, shelves and workbenches in there, and then have the Jeep itself. Should this go further a little bit? I think it should go further a little bit. Or will this fix my issue? If it doesn't, I can always change it back, so I'm not too worried. Do I like that? Or I know that I want the fence posts to be outside of the garage. I know that for certain. And then I don't know what purpose this serves, because I don't have a door that goes in there. Could I even, if I wanted to? No, that comes right into there. But it looks good. I like this. This I like that there. I like this. It feels empty inside, because it is empty inside. I think having the rim going fully around actually helps a decent bit. And then, torches, we're doing planning now. Ooh, frame rate's dropping too, so it's good that we're doing planning. No, frame rate's not dropping. I'm wrong. I'm reading the wrong thing. My CPU is getting eaten a little bit, but that's fine. Because I've done this in a way where I can build all inside here, fully. And then we have, like, shelves up and around and stuff, and a couple items sitting, like, here. And some crates and boxes and cages with dinosaurs in them. And outside of this, I want a whole bunch of leaves, like shrubbery and bushes. And then is that good? I think, like, I'm gonna use this to imagine the Jeep a little bit. And then it'll be like another block taller. This is very rough. It's just to get the idea of the spacing. It'll probably be a bit taller than I've estimated and look better than this dirt mock-up. You know what? Yeah! I like it. I like it. The question is, what's my percentage at? 19%. We're at about 40 minutes here. If I have the items already, then we'll add some shrubbery. If I do not, then we will not add shrubbery. Not yet. If I don't have leaves, that'll happen in a later episode. Maybe next episode, whenever that is. But we do have leaves. Let's do some shrubbery. Let's get some shrubbery going. Yeah, let's get some shrubbery going. Can we sleep? No. I'm gonna want... I put these up as a farm. Like, I just wanted to collect them. I think having those with shrubs is going to look really good up here now. So if I just... And the key with shrubs is that they're allowed to have empty space in them. These all feel too uniformly in their height. Oh, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Okay. See, I'm not good at plants, apparently. This is the second time that we've discovered that I'm not actually super great at plants. But, and I mean, part of it is that it can't go, like, flush against that wall. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I just feel like we need more of those gaps that I was talking about. It feels too uniform. And we have some gaps in there. Bamboo shoot there, there, there. And I think, actually, can I have more than one behind this? I think more is gonna be more in this instance. Sometimes it's more is less. I think that right there, we'll throw a little shrub over, up, and in here. Nope. We're closed. Sorry. Zoo is closed. Goodbye. Couple there. Then we create a couple of gaps here and there. Yeah! Okay! I like it. I think I like it a lot, actually. And then we have... I don't actually know what purpose this serves. Because you can't get anywhere from here. The only other thing that I want... And we can do that this episode. We can do that right now. This is how we'll round out the episode. I need 6 pieces of iron. Perfect. This is going to be one of the most expensive decorations. Forgot how iron trapdoors were made. I was thinking of copper trapdoors. Originally, I wanted a copper trapdoor, but those aren't in yet. I've had a thought. I'm thinking, A, that it's night, so I probably shouldn't be doing this, and B, that I'm going to disregard the path that I made, and C, that we're going to collect some water from the Seta Patty enclosure. because I want to waterlog that trap door, because that is our drainage pipe. Right? I think that's a fun little addition. Yeah, I like that. And then I think also we should have a crate there. Cool. I planned everything out. It's gonna look great. I need to design a Jeep and figure out what, like, shelves and stuff I want to put in. And, oh, trapdoor shelves. Trapdoor shelves. Maybe use some item frames. And then some cages, which I think I can use scaffolding for. Scaffolding in a trapdoor. Oh, I like it. I like it so much. Yeah. Alright, with that, that is unfortunately all the time that I have for today. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you have an amazing day, and goodbye.